What is squirting from a biological perspective? Have you ever heard of women releasing a sudden gush of liquid during sex and wondered what exactly happened? This experience, often exaggerated in adult films, is known as squirting, and behind the dramatic scene, there's a natural and legitimate biological process at play. Understanding what's really going on in the female body can bring more respect, clarity, and comfort to those who experience or witness it. Squirting is the release of fluid through the urethra, the same tube used to urinate, during intense arousal or orgasm. This fluid isn't pure urine, even though it may contain traces of it. Most of the liquid appears to come from the Squirting glands, small glands located around and beneath the urethra. These structures, though subtle, function similarly to the male prostate and even produce an enzyme called PSA, also found in male semen. During orgasm, the pelvic floor muscles contract forcefully. This puts pressure on the Squirting glands, pushing the fluid out through the urethra. The volume can vary greatly, from a few drops to a strong stream, and many women don't even realize when it happens. It's important to know that squirting doesn't happen to all women, and it doesn't mean someone is having more or less pleasure. Every body is different, and all responses are valid. What matters most is that a woman feels safe, relaxed, and comfortable with her own experience. If this has ever happened to you or someone you know, there's no reason to feel confused or embarrassed. This is simply the body responding as it was designed to. Now that we understand where this fluid comes from, the next step is to clear up a common confusion: the difference between female ejaculation and squirting, two things that aren't exactly the same. The difference between female ejaculation and squirting. Many people confuse two very different experiences in the female body: ejaculation and squirting. At first glance, they may look similar. After all, both involve fluid release during orgasm. But from a biological perspective, they come from different processes, with distinct origins and characteristics. Understanding this difference helps debunk myths and reduce unnecessary pressure or shame. Female ejaculation refers to the release of a small amount of thick, milky fluid from the urethra during sexual climax. This fluid comes directly from the Squirting glands, those small structures near the urethra that function similarly to the prostate. The liquid contains PSA, a specific enzyme also found in male seminal fluid, confirming its glandular origin. It's usually subtle and often goes unnoticed. Squirting, on the other hand, involves a much larger amount of fluid, which is clearer and more watery. It may contain diluted traces of urine, mixed with secretions from the Squirting glands. It tends to come out more forcefully, often during strong pelvic muscle contractions, and can soak sheets or clothes, something that surprises many people. While female ejaculation is more subtle and relatively common, squirting happens less frequently and not to all women, and that's completely normal. Neither of these reactions defines how good or intense an orgasm was. A woman can have deeply satisfying sexual experiences without ever ejaculating or squirting. Pleasure is not defined by fluid, it's about connection, safety, and feeling at ease in one's own body. Now that this distinction is clear, it's time to explore what science has actually found inside the fluid released during squirting. In the next section, we'll take a closer look at lab studies and what they reveal about this mysterious liquid. What science knows about the fluid, research and lab findings. One of the biggest questions about squirting is, what exactly is in that fluid? Some people think it's just urine, others believe it's something special, and many simply don't know. Thankfully, science has taken a closer look, and the results can help ease doubts, reduce shame, and promote a healthier understanding of the female body. Studies analyzing fluid released during squirting show that it's not the same as regular urine, although it may contain small traces of it. In other words, it's not just an accidental urination. The fluid seems to come from multiple sources, including the bladder and the Squirting glands, and contains a mix of components. What makes it especially interesting is the presence of PSA, prostate-specific antigen, an enzyme also found in male seminal fluid and known to be produced by the Squirting glands. This discovery confirms that the Squirting glands play an active role in squirting. They respond to sexual stimulation by producing fluid, and when the pelvic floor muscles contract strongly during orgasm, that fluid is released through the urethra. The amount can range from a few drops to a dramatic gush, and there's no normal volume. Each woman's experience is unique. When compared to regular urine, the squirting fluid has lower levels of substances like urea and creatinine, two chemicals typically found in urine. This supports the idea that squirting is a separate, distinct biological response, not just a case of bladder leakage. Of course, there's still a lot science doesn't know. Female sexual physiology remains under-researched, and more studies are needed. But what we do know is enough to say with confidence: squirting is a real, valid, and natural expression of sexual response. It's not something to fear, fix, or hide. For those who felt confused or embarrassed, knowledge can bring relief. Understanding the origins and nature of this fluid is one step toward greater comfort in one's own body. But perhaps the most important perspective comes not from science, but from lived experience. In the next section, we'll hear directly from women who have experienced squirting, and their stories may surprise you. How women feel about squirting, a qualitative study. Beyond biology and lab tests, one essential question remains: how do women feel about squirting? While science has analyzed the fluid itself, fewer studies have explored the emotional experience of those who actually go through it. One research team in Sweden took that step. They interviewed 28 women who identified as having experienced squirting, and their stories revealed a rich range of feelings, from joy to indifference to discomfort. The first and most common theme was a sense of amazement and empowerment. Many women described squirting as a kind of sexual awakening, something that made them feel more connected to their bodies and their pleasure. Some actively sought out the experience by reading, attending workshops, or working with partners who were supportive and curious. Others realized they had experienced squirting before but never really noticed until they became more aware of their bodies. For these women, squirting became a source of pride, a discovery that made them feel special and more in tune with their sexuality. A second group of women expressed indifference. For them, squirting didn't come with any particular feeling of pleasure or excitement. Some only noticed it had happened because the sheets were wet. It wasn't painful, but it didn't feel important either, just another physical response that happened without much meaning. Finally, some women shared feelings of discomfort or embarrassment. A few believed they had urinated accidentally and felt ashamed. Others described the experience as messy, confusing, or even inconvenient. These reactions were more common among women who lacked open conversations about sexuality or who came from environments where sexual expression was judged or repressed. What this study made clear is that squirting is not a one-size-fits-all experience. The meaning a woman gives to it depends on many factors: her upbringing, her relationship with her body, how her partner reacts, and the culture she lives in. For some, it's empowering. For others, neutral. And for others still, it may be unsettling. There is no right or wrong reaction, only personal truth. And in the next section, we'll explore how external factors like culture, relationships, and media influence how squirting is perceived. Understanding these pressures is key to helping people feel more at ease with their own bodies.
We're sure this video will be useful for you. Come on, play the video, it will certainly help you. Believe me, I don't lie. Don't miss this chance.